Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 710 Wednesday, November 2nd, 50 degrees, getting up to 71 today. WOBM AM 1160, 1310 News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are now joined by Donna Bonacorso. She is the Assistant Vice President of Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence at Community Medical Center right here in Toms River. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Jeremy. Thank you so much for having me here on the radio.
Absolutely. We have to fill time, Donna. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, it's, and there's only so many people. We only have 90,000 in Toms River. Sometimes we have to go outside of the realm. But why don't you tell folks a little, that's a different kind of title, right? Assistant Vice President of Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence. Why don't you tell folks what that means?
It really is a different title, and at Community Medical Center, really so much of what happens in terms of getting people well and healthy is what we do with our nursing staff. So the role is really to focus on our nurses and help them develop themselves and provide the best possible care we can for our community.
Very cool. All right. So and so you've been in nursing for what, like 3 or 4 years now?
A few years now.
Yeah.
So actually, I've been in nursing for 35 years.
Wow.
And
you started when you were 8?
I did.
Wow.
I think I was 5, actually.
That's amazing.
Yes.
All right.
But you can tell by my accent, I'm not from the area. I originally from the Bronx, and 20 years of my career were actually in the Bronx, back in New York.
So how long you been in in Ocean County now?
I've been here 15 years.
So at what point? What do you think the barrier is, or what do you think the hurdle is to actually eliminating the accent at some point? I mean, do you think you're ever completely immersed?
I don't think the accent will ever go away. It's stuck. It's there. It won't leave. But I am immersed in Ocean County. I love living down here.
Right.
I love the shore community. I enjoy it immensely. So it's a wonderful place to be.
Great. So do you remember back, how did you decide you wanted to go into nursing? I mean, was there something that happened in your life? Was there a family member that inspired you, or was it just that, what was it?
There are no nurses in my family at all. I grew up in the Bronx, going to Catholic high schools. And while I was in high school, you do all sorts of, self-evaluation kind of test. And I was very much excelled in science and math. And it pointed me into nursing. I went right into a nursing program right out of high school in Manhattan. I went to originally a school in Manhattan, Hunter Bellevue, and continued to grow my nursing career from there, and I loved it from the very beginning.
Right. Well, that's cool. So at what point do you decide that you want to get into the administration end? I think there's a lot of nurses I think who really are they just love the one-on-one kind of care aspect of it. And so how do you kind of make that leap?
So I still really love the one-on-one aspect of it, and 20 years of my career was at the bedside. My background is in critical care and in emergency department, and actually a few years in inpatient psychiatry. So I really did love all of it. And about 20 years ago, when myself and my family decided to make a move, I thought about what I wanted to do in the future and how it can make a bigger impact on patients and how they're cared for. And that's why I went into leadership, because I wanted it to be 24/7, the beliefs I had in nursing.
Right. Well, that's great. Okay. So 35 years, how do you feel like nursing has changed over the years? I mean, what's different today than when you started?
There's some things that are very much the same. Nursing is really about how the individual's presence in someone's life helps them to heal. And that's what nurses do every day, and how they touch someone and how they relate to someone. But there's been a lot of changes in nursing because we just keep developing in terms of our professionalism and in terms of education. So there is such a drive to move nursing into more advanced degrees. And you see that happening right down here in Toms River. You'll see the nurses are all going back to school, pursuing their bachelor's and their master's and their doctorates, because the science of nursing relies on critically thinking, educated individuals.
Do you think that the advancement of education, do you think the more educated nursing staff, do you think do you think that correlates to the quality of care? I mean, I guess when you've been nursing for 35 years, as an example, there's nothing that a course is going to teach you that's going to be any different than or any better than the practical experience you have. But what's your feeling on the education piece?
I think it's essential for the quality of care. It's really an evolution. There's no one class that's going to tell you how to fix it all, but it's an evolution. And classes are interactive, so the students bring just as much as the teacher brings in those realms. And then it all goes back to the bedside. It's how we continue to make the experience better for our patients.
And so let's say I'm a nurse and I want to go back for my BSN, right? And I work for community, right? Does Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas, do they support that? Is there any kind of a tuition reimbursement, or what happens there?
We do have tuition reimbursement. The nurse leaders support any nurse who's going back to school. And so a lot of it is adjusting your time to put those hours in, because there's a lot of work. It may be hours that you spend in class, but tons of homework. And we do financially support people to go back to school.
Very cool. Have you seen any benefits specifically to nursing professionals, of the merger, the Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas merger, which, now is, I guess, we're probably about, less than a year old. So.
We're less than a year old, and a lot of it is behind the scenes. We're doing a lot actually focusing on education. Our nursing education department has rolled out a whole plethora of new activities in the hospital. So mortality reviews, different education, driving more research that's nurse-driven. So a lot more education that we're seeing in the building all around some of the models that the joining of Robert Wood Johnson and Barnabas Health has done.
Cool. When we come back, Donna Bonacorso, Assistant Vice President, Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence at Community Medical Center. Let's talk about some of the programs and different kind of committees that are happening at community, so we can kind of give folks a little bit of a behind the scenes of nursing here locally, okay? Cool. Back with more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin right after this.
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin wherever you go. Download the Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We're here with Donna Bonacorso, Assistant Vice President, Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence at Community Medical Center. So I want to talk a little about in-house professional development, right? So, for example, talk to me about the Nurse Speak program.
So actually, Nurse Speak is not a program.
I know.
It's a newsletter.
It's a newsletter.
It's a newsletter that the nurses in the hospital are writing. And we have a really robust professional practice committee, and that is a group of about 40 nurses who spend a great amount of time planning and strategizing to make improvements in the hospital. And one of the things they wanted to do is have their own newsletter so that nurses in the hospital can talk about their experiences and some of the great things that they're doing at the bedside.
For nurses, by nurses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just coined that. You can use that.
Okay, we will.
Good. Professional Practice Committee. What is that all about?
So in any nursing organization, it's really important to be flat as an organization so that you don't have a few people telling everyone to do what to do, is that you have the nurses who are at the bedside providing care really participate in what nursing should look like in your institution. So our professional practice committee are staff nurses who meet on a regular basis and work with leadership to make the hospital better every day for our patients.
Cool. And then so I've heard this thing, nursing grand rounds, and all I think about every time is like popcorn on the tables and really good burgers.
Oh, you remember that? We used to eat places like that.
But that was the ground round,
the ground
right?
round
That's
back
different.
in.
Okay.
Peanuts on the floor, actually. Yes. Had to crush those shells.
Yeah. So what are nursing grand rounds?
So in academic facilities, grand rounds are very common. They're usually physician-based. And usually in teaching institutions, it's done pretty regularly. So we're doing grand rounds as a multidisciplinary team. So they're held monthly. Usually about 4 people present on a very interesting case that happened in the hospital, and it's nurses, physicians, social work, physical therapists, all of them presenting the great care that was delivered to one of our patients. And the attendance has been amazing, filling the auditoriums to share what's going on.
That's awesome. And so then there's a quality forum. What is that?
Well, we've had quality forums for the last close to 10 years through the Barnabas organization. So every hospital site has individuals take a look at what they've been doing in terms of improving care, write abstracts, and present them. So now as we join with Robert Wood Johnson, together we have quality forums where clinicians at the front line present what they've done to improve care.
Very cool. And lastly, I know that there are also research projects. I mean, I think most of us think of research projects for doctors, that they're doing this.
No.
But most of them come from nursing, right?
Sure. There's so much research going on, and actually it connects to our nurses going for advanced degrees. So as they go for their master's degrees and their doctorate degrees, they are all doing tons of research in the hospital.
Cool. So we are here with Donna Bonacorso, Assistant Vice President, Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence here at Community Medical Center. So when we come back after the break, because we are coming up on Kevin Williams and his hometown view, and then we have the news.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come back, I want to make sure that we touch on recognition. I think recognition is such an important piece.
It really is.
For any, along with professional development and along with accountability. Right, because we always want to hold people accountable for when they don't deliver, but
Absolutely.
that only works it works when you hold people accountable for when they do deliver, and you make sure that you recognize them. And there's some great recognition programs at Community Medical Center. Then we're going to give you your magic wand. Right?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, which I know. It's a lot
it's
of
tough. It's tough.
Remember, Donna, with great power comes great responsibility. Just remember that. My Uncle Joe told me that. Was it Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. Yeah, I was thinking of the rice, but it's actually Spider-Man. And so much more. Donna Bonacorso, Assistant Vice President, Professional Practice Nursing Excellence, Community Medical Center. We'll be back with more right after this.
The news is next. Live from the WOBM Newsroom, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. It is Wednesday, November 2nd, 7:35 a.m., 50 degrees, getting up to 71 today. WOBM AM 1116, 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined by Donna Bonacorso. She is Assistant Vice President of Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence at Community Medical Center here in Ocean County. So we were talking a little bit about recognition programs at Community Medical Center. So talk to me. What do you have in place that makes sure that the great nurses get the great recognition they deserve?
Actually, let our patients speak about our nurses. So at any given time, we have tons of letters and compliments that come from our patients and families, and our nurses and other staff are invited to special lunches with our chief executive officer, and it's a great event, and people are pinned and celebrated for the great stuff that they do.
Right.
But there's a lot of other stuff that goes on. Right now, we're starting something called the Daisy Award. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
So years ago, back in 1999, so you and I were small children then.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a young man died in his 30s from a lung disease, and his parents wanted him remembered. His name was Patrick Barnes, and they started something called the Daisy Award, where families recognize nurses for the great care they give, and there's a theme with cinnamon buns. But what we've done at the hospital is we've received a slew of letters from patients and families about our nurses, and we have a committee of staff nurses who have reviewed the letters, and they are picking the winner for our first Daisy winner, and we'll have a huge celebration on November 14th at 2 o'clock at the hospital in our auditoriums. It's open to anyone who wants to come and celebrate our great nurses.
That's awesome. And what do they get? Like a new car? Is it like a trip to Aruba? What is it?
There's no trip to Aruba. It's the recognition that comes with it.
Yeah, no, that was, I mean, that's pretty much second best. I mean, I was going to say, if it's not a new car or Aruba, I mean, who wants the car anyway? You got to pay the taxes on it.
That's true. That's true.
I never want to
It
win
may
that.
not be the color you want to.
Who wants to win those? All right, Donna Bonacorso, Community Medical Center. It is time for you to get the magic wand, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact on the world. I have an inkling. I have a guess. I'm going to take a shot in the dark that your magic wand may be directed towards the world of nursing, but who knows? What would you do?
Actually,
I
I'm
went
being
the wrong
very
way,
silly.
didn't I?
Yeah, I'm being very
ahead.
silly because I'm a diehard New York Mets fan.
Oh, all right.
And I've been enjoying the Cubs and the Indians and watching the game. But actually, for 2017, if it were my magic wand, we'd have the Mets in the World Series.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you want to get past just being in the World Series because you've done that recently. Now
we
you got to win
and
one,
we need
right?
to win it.
Yeah.
We do need to win it.
So who are you rooting for? Because this is where it gets tricky. Because like the Cubs are kind of like a rival,
Yes.
right? The Indians, who cares, right? But then there's that whole 108 years for the Cubs. So who are you rooting for?
I actually am rooting for the Cubs.
Yeah, right?
But for both teams, really for both of those cities, they've been in such a huge drought that it's so exciting for them all.
Yeah.
But I am rooting for the Cubs.
But Cleveland's got a lot of great things. I mean, Cleveland, listen, I mean.
Their pitching is unbelievable.
Their pitching is pretty good.
Unbelievable.
Their pitching is pretty good.
And the
But
games are very exciting.
do you watch them? So this has been the theme today. Do you watch baseball? Like,
I love watching baseball.
What do you do while you watch baseball?
I usually yell a little bit, but no, I do watch.
You're just transfixed on the game.
No, I'll usually have some email on my lap, and you're doing some multitasking.
Yeah,
There's always
Facebook,
multitasking.
some kind of social network.
There's
thing.
always multitasking, but I do love baseball.
Okay. Well, I think, and my dad always used to say the thing about baseball that he loved was that you could do other things while you're watching baseball. Like you didn't have to just you watch a football game. You need to watch the football game,
true.
right? Baseball can kind of be your background. It can kind of be it can wash over you in a different way.
It can, but when it's exciting, it is exciting, and you're not sitting down. You're screaming right there as if they heard you. So.
I'm with you. Okay, Donna, where could folks go to learn more about Community Medical Center or about the Barnabas Network? Anywhere they can go for that?
So you just go to our website, go to Barnabas Health. /org/community to visit our website and take a look at all the great programs that we have.
Cool. And of course, there's always career opportunities available at Community Medical Center, right? So you can go there, barnabashealth.org/careers. If you can't spell careers, then they don't probably want to hire you anyway, right? I mean, let's be honest.
Cut it out. But careers can start at any level. So
That's right.
sometimes you don't know that you want to be in healthcare, and you may be afraid to work in a hospital.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people have started off with entry-level jobs, and they realize that's where they want to be, and they go back to school, and we support it and
absolutely.
get into healthcare.
There are lots of jobs available, like as transports and others, and there are always openings there, and it's a really great way to get your foot in the door in a whole new, exciting, rewarding career, and take it from someone who's been doing it for a few years, right, Donna?
It is very rewarding. You put my head on the pillow at night, and I know I've done something good.
Yes, good for you. Donna Bonacorso, Assistant Vice President, Professional Practice and Nursing Excellence, Community Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
this morning.
so welcome. Thank you.
Cool. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin back after this.